a century. And if you give up what you know.
Over the past year, I've gone from having practically no experience hunting, except for a couple of dove hunts, to being more fully immersed in the hunting culture than I could have ever imagined. It was really a two-headed monster psychologically that led me to that place. First, I'd always been fascinated with archery. 15 years ago in college, I went through one of my do-whatever phases. I decided that along with my normal course load, I would also take one new and interesting physical education class per semester. This started with Taekwondo, where I earned my yellow belt, so watch yourself. And after that was Olympic fencing. And I fully intended to move on to archery the next semester, but fencing got its claws in me, and the rest is history, as you've heard in a previous episode. But my fascination with archery never faded completely away. I'd been steadily building a strong case in my mind for years to become a hunter. I know that generations of men in my family had hunted and fished. They were from southern Mississippi, and they kind of followed that Scots-Irish descent, that migration from the Northeast down through the Carolinas and the East Coast into Mississippi and Louisiana. So my father didn't continue those traditions into his adult life, and he didn't pass them on to me. So I wanted to reconnect with that. Moreover, I really wanted to find a way to get my family off the factory farming grid. And that's kind of a big task in modern Western society. That's kind of a big job. And I figured that fully immersing myself, diving in, learning how to source my meat ethically was the best way to start. So if only in small part at first, but the eventual goal would be to feed my family home-cooked meals using only protein that I sourced. That's the end goal. That's where we want to be. I truly believe in conservation and that hunting is the best way to fund and support wildlife and wild spaces. So in the last year and a half, my flirtation with archery and my newfound love affair with hunting and conservation dovetailed into me becoming a bow hunter. So with just over a year in the books, I have untold volumes to learn still about hunting, wildlife, survival, and ecology, but I've never had more fun learning. The reason why? I get to go outside. And I don't need to prattle on about the benefits of spending time outdoors. However, I think a lot of people, a lot of men that I've known especially, suffer from a lack of inspiration to get out there. I experienced this myself because I have an active wife who loves to get out and hike. I always enjoyed myself once I got out there with her, but I had a real problem getting off my ass and getting excited about it. Like every damn time, actually. But hunting changed that for me. There's now like an inherent excitement and wonder about the outdoors that was not there before. Even if I'm just going on a scouting or exploration trip with no gear, I still get excited about the chance to learn an area, to see what life it has to offer, maybe pick up a little bit of history along the way about where I'm going. And hunting also helped me to see how I fit into it all. It helped me see that my human existence isn't some exception to it, but it's a fascinating and sometimes important part of it. And it also taught me to feel small and realize that nature is absolutely indifferent to me. And the only long-term damage I or we as a species can do to this planet is make it inhospitable for us and other animals. The Earth is going to be here to ride us out. It did so for billions of years before we even stood upright and started using our hands. What got me here was the physical challenge and excitement of hunting. The chance to share lessons about our planet and the life that inhabits it with my children and other people. For you, it might not be that, but I do implore you to find your point to being outdoors and experiencing the wild in some way. It doesn't even have to be wild, but it needs to offer more challenge than your office or your living room. As humans, we've lived most of our species' existence out in the elements. So don't waste all that history and that amazing lineage of survivalist badasses. Get outside.
Get out, scream! Yeah! We're back on road,
In a way, it's absurd that as a species we even have to consider our relationship with the outdoors. There is a robust $4 billion industry devoted entirely to just hiking and camping gear. And that excludes the estimated $40 million or so spent by hunters on the seemingly endless list of tools, supplies, and gadgets, anything to make that hunt a little easier. Entire industries, factories, and supply chains devoted simply to making the idea of being outside more comfortable or more manageable. Now, I certainly don't want to presume what our ancestors would think of us, but I think it might be safe to say that after convincing them that we were not gods, some sort of magical deity, they would figure out that we were a much more fragile version of what they were. And what we consider anatomically modern humans appeared 30,000 to 50,000 years ago, roughly. Now, while ape-like human ancestors have been traced back as far as 8 million years, it's more important for this thought exercise to imagine organisms that look like, well, us. That being said, they still didn't look entirely like we do today, but the most striking difference would be their lifestyle. They were mostly naked, dirty, and they had rudimentary shelters at best. Shelter was a means to escape dangerous weather or predatory animals. This was as much comfort as could be afforded a human in the Upper Paleolithic. Living in egalitarian hunter-gatherer groups, they used stone tools, hunted together, ate together, reared their children together, and slept together. At night, they would gather around a fire using rudimentary but rapidly developing language, would recount the events of their day. Perhaps they vibrantly relived the day's successful hunt. Perhaps they fretted about another restless night with no food. Maybe they told stories from days gone past or even planned for the future. They sat, soft skin exposed to the night air, no claws, no fangs, no weapons beyond crude stone and stick. Their only protection was the glow of the fire and their proximity to each other. The dark held the unknown, and the unknown was often looking for its next meal, eyes aglow or fangs tipped with venom. No one dared venture beyond the edge of the firelight. Those who had done so had already likely perished millennia ago, proving unfit to be ancestors to anyone. No wonder, then, that when we go camping and sit below a night sky, we feel so at peace. The default position around a campfire that no one has to be taught is to sit encircling it, facing the fire, and meeting the gaze of your companions. No wonder that children create terrifying fantasies of fanged monsters in the dark and seek the comfort of parents and nightlights. Even children who can't yet read are comforted by the presence of loved ones speaking aloud to them, recounting the day or telling old stories or fantastic tales. No wonder that a home with 4 walls, locking doors, climate control, and on-demand entertainment in every form is so enrapturing to us. Just like sugar-rich foods that exploit our predilection for calorie-dense nourishment. Eat it all, we don't get this often. So too, the comforts of the indoors exploit our deep-seated desire for safety and security. Look, the outdoors may be fun and engaging, but deep down, the human mind instinctively knows that there are risks. Where we begin to run into trouble is when we convince ourselves to mitigate risk down to 0, or as close as we can get to it. There are risks and costs to action, but they are far less than the long-range risks of comfortable inaction. John F. Kennedy. For hundreds of thousands of years or more, human beings and our predecessors used shelter and comfort as an all too brief respite from lives full of danger, hardship, work, and risk. So just as they used whatever sweet, calorie-packed fruits and tubers they could find for a boost of energy, they used rest and relaxation to recharge, regroup, and bond. I want you to try something next time you decide to go camping. Don't just get there in order to set up next to your car, get a fire going, eat, drink, and sleep. Give yourself some work to do. Do it with family. Do it with friends. Organize a challenging hike. Gather firewood. Start it without modern means. Try to start it without modern means. Have a backup just in case. Clean up the park or public land that you're camping on. Have a mission. Afterward, reward yourselves with the serenity and togetherness of the campfire and a shared meal. I guarantee the stories will be livelier and it will all be just a little sweeter. This episode of the Do Whatever podcast is brought to you by HVIII Coffee Company. HVIII Coffee is a company that's owned by Matt, Vincent, and myself, so that's why I get to advertise it as much as I want to. And the other reason I like to advertise it is everyone drinks coffee, with few exceptions, and you shouldn't trust those people. The ones that don't. But HVIII Coffee runs with 2 roasts right now. There's plans for other ones, obviously, but we've run with 2 roasts that we really believe are the all-star team. The first is the original, HVIII. It's a Guatemalan roast. It's a Guatemalan medium roast, which is fantastic for a daily drinker. If you're like me, you're going to have more than 1 cup to start the day and through the middle of the day, and maybe another one in the afternoon, or maybe 2 each time. And the Guatemalan medium roast really gives me the opportunity to do that without feeling like I'm getting, like the mouth feels not too overwhelming. It's complex and fruity, but it's not like so rich with roastiness that I feel like I have to kind of work through it like I do some other roasts. And it's not cranked with the caffeine content. You know, a big thing that we do with HVIII is that we don't believe in gimmicks. We don't believe in highly caffeinated or charred roasts or, flavor infusions. It's about good coffee, man. It's not about gimmicks to get your attention with 1 cup. We want to create your daily drinker. So the Guatemalan is fantastic for that. The one that we've launched recently and has been doing great is the snake oil. Snake oil is a little bit of a different roast. It is an Ethiopian roast that's roasted a little bit lighter. And the reason for that is that we're letting some more of the caffeine content come through. There's a natural way to let caffeine come through. When you roast things too hard and too heavy, you burn some of that caffeine out. You make it harder for it to come out of the bean when it gets ground and when it gets soaked. So we're doing a lighter Ethiopian, still get a nice rich body. It's not like a watery coffee, obviously. If you're making watery coffee, that's on you, man. That's not us. Yeah, head to HVIII Coffee Company. Use code DOWHATEVER. It's going to save you some cash on that one. Do Whatever podcast is also brought to you by HVIII Brand Goods. HVIII Brand Goods is an apparel company look, man, it's for adventurers and destroyers. That's the way I've been saying it to everybody. If you're somebody that likes to destroy goals, you like to destroy mediocrity, you like to chase goals, you like to chase adventure, look, this is the apparel company for you. But yeah, same. If you use code DOWHATEVER at thehate.com, HVIII, you'll save some coin on some sweet clothes. And right now, what we're really interested in is what is that core of what the hate is? What was Matt writing about in those first couple of books? What is the hate, and how does that express itself visually? Somebody that lives that life, what do they want to put on their body to advertise that? So, and it's not about advertising a brand, and we get that. A lot of people, they don't want to feel like a human billboard. They want to feel like, look, there's a message I resonate with, and what I'm advertising by wearing this is a message that I'm with. This is what I get down with. You can make a quick calculus on me, by figuring out, by having a conversation with me about this. And look, man, having shirts that are a conversation piece, that's pretty cool. Shirts and hats that actually are interesting conversation pieces. Yeah, we can get down with that. So yeah, head over to thehate.com, pick up some of the sweet stuff we got going. The Outsiders Club gear, which is my favorite thing we did this summer, still fully stocked. That stuff we did a lot of that stuff because we knew that was going to resonate with a lot of people. I love that stuff. Those are my favorite things. The hat and the backpack especially they're like everyday carry things for me now. So go and check those out. Matt Vincent is my friend and business partner. He's my partner in HVIII Brand Goods and HVIII Coffee, both sponsors of this show. Big surprise there. Matt has recently gone on a long journey. I think he was away from home for a total of 8 weeks. So I know, and I'm going to get all the numbers wrong, so I won't try, but he did 16 days in the Grand Canyon with a tour group there, with a guided group that kayaked, canoed down the Grand Canyon, down the river in the Grand Canyon. and slept on the beaches, slept in the canyon. Very cool stuff. And from that point on, he went on a trip to the Pacific Northwest, where he was invited to announce a couple of Highland Games. He and I both obviously have a background in the Highland Games. Matt was a 2-time world champion. He's now working with a pretty wrecked knee, so he is not currently competing. It's not really in the plans anymore, but he is still close to the games, and he was invited to announce, get on the microphone, which is a super fun job to do. I'm very jealous of that, but I'm also jealous that I can get to be there to hear Matt do it, because he's a pretty entertaining cat, especially when you put a microphone in his hand. So maybe someday in the future I'll have a chance to do that. But from there, he was home briefly, I think, and then he flew out to Iceland for our friend Runar's wedding. And and he spent, I think it was about 2 weeks out there. So I've got the numbers all wrong, but it was all told, he was on the road, traveling away from home for quite a while. But what I found so interesting about that trip, Matt travels a lot, but what I found so interesting, and you'll hear us talk about this a lot, was that he spent a lot of the time not in hotels, not in Airbnbs, that he spent a lot of time camping. He's got his truck fixed up for camping. Really nice. He's got a great camper on there. He's got a rack system. He's got a truck tent and everything. He's set up to live out of that truck pretty well, but he talked about, how in the interview, he really got into like the reason behind he wanted to do that, and kind of just some of the experiences and stories that happened from it. But that's what really made me want to sit down and do this podcast. I'd kind of been, throwing around different topics in my mind, and I kind of wanted to see how we could dovetail, Matt's sense of adventure and how he really executed that with this trip, along with my kind of, finding the outdoors, finding adventure, finding time under the stars around campfires because of hunting. And kind of see where there was some overlap, but see where there was some difference, because I'm always interested in people's why. And in this particular case, he followed this rabbit hole of get outside, be in the outdoors, and he had his own why for it. And I really wanted to talk to him a little bit more in depth about how did he come to that why, and what was the experience like when it was all said and done.
Ziggy, shut up. All right, man, this is your show.
Yeah, no, I was just wondering how many of your personal intros that you cut, actually the raw recording starts with you yelling for the dog to shut up. If you actually looked at the full file.
Yeah, there's probably a bunch.
A whole bunch of them.
Fucking goddamn dog. Our dog Ziggy does not care for men. And so, the only one she'll tolerate is our neighbor now, Mark.
Yeah, then that's just exposure.
Yeah.
They're just over
That's exactly
a lot
right.
of nights.
She still does weird shit with me.
Yeah.
So, all day.
She wasn't a big fan of yours for, year one.
Yeah. So, all day, the other two assholes sleep in the front window in my office.
Yeah, it's a good gig.
She doesn't come in there.
Yeah.
She does not come in the office. As soon as I leave, that's where she goes.
Uh-huh. Y'all adopted her, right? She was, yeah.
And so she does not, so she'll stay on the couch or hang out, but she doesn't come in the office. Now, if Ashley's in the office, she's in there. She will, however, she doesn't like our cleaning lady. Take that back. She likes the cleaning lady. The cleaning lady has started bringing a second.
Yeah.
And the lady,
You're not
for whatever
cool.
reason, does not like the other girl.
Maybe she's too masculine.
We'll just sit there and fucking bark at her through the window.
Too square of a jaw, maybe.
It's the worst. Yeah, maybe. Too much test.
Yeah, that's what she's seeing.
That's what's going on in the cleaning business these days.
Get a barbell in that chick's hand.
Yeah.
That second one.
So Ziggy, on those days, will allow me to get her into the office.
Right.
And then she'll lay down in there with me. It's the less of two evils as far as she's concerned. She's like, fuck.
I think you're both going to kill me, but you're slightly less likely to.
Yeah, you haven't killed me yet.
Yeah. No, she's not a fan of mine. But I get it. I've lived with me for a long time.
Yeah, makes sense.
If I were Ziggy, I wouldn't be mad. All right. So what I wanted to talk to you about primarily was you just did this gigantic trip. This was 8 weeks total of travel.
Yeah.
And I thought what was so interesting about it is, look, anybody that knows you and anybody that's followed what you're doing for a while knows that travel is not a new part of the equation. But I thought this one was pretty unique in how much time you spent out of the traditional comfort zone of a hotel or an Airbnb, and how much you spent camping, how much you spent outside in that. So that's what I thought was so cool about that trip.
You figure in the month of July, I slept outside 21 nights that month. The rest was either spent hotel or bed or like at a friend's house on the couch.
Yeah.
And then in Iceland, I was home for 6 days. Went to Iceland for 2 weeks. And I camped out 6 nights in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I did like a night and then would be back for a night or two and then back out.
And you had things to do in civilization there, so.
Yeah, like I wanted to go to the gym, and I knew that like if we were going to be doing a thing, like people just operate later there, and I definitely have like a cutoff point of when I'm willing to figure out where I'm going to sleep.
Sure, yeah.
So it's like camping's cool, but I'm going to leave to go camp and know where I'm going by 3 or 4 p.m.
Yeah, because one thing that I know from spending enough time with you on the road is you are very aware of when you're going to hit the wall.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah,
you,
I'm going to bed.
And you know you run at a pretty high pace during the day. Like you run pretty high energy, and you know from the morning you really build a lot of momentum. But there is that point that you can just see, like Maddie's going to shut it down.
Yeah, I'm done. And I'm not apologetic about it or anything. I just fucking shut it down. Don't give a shit. Like even last night, like hanging out here. I mean, we've got friends over.
Dude, I could see it. It was like 10:30, I think.
I think that's it.
And I could tell that was probably because there was company over and I was here. It was like y'all staying a little later than usual, like, you know, staying up a little bit. But
Yeah, maybe. But like, I mean, that's typically the move. Like as soon as we finish eating,
yeah.
I'm done. Like I am going to the couch. If everybody would like to join me in the couch area,
That is your
and
choice.
watch TV while I sit there and maybe get high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
You're
y'all
welcome.
What y'all want to do is not going to affect it, but I'd love to have you along.
Yeah, this is where I'm going to be.
So-
I want you to do whatever it is you want to do, because I'm going to do whatever it is I want to do.
Right. Yeah. The wheel's locked.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but here's a question: why? Like that 8 week stretch, so much of that. What was different this time? What led to the choice, or what led to the situation where you find yourself camping and being outside that much?
I just wanted to go. Like that's the bit with I guess the way whatever this fucking thing is we do for a job now is trying to realize the freedom it provides.
True.
And that, man, I remember being a kid and being fascinated by like, you mean there's people that like for work go to the airport every week? And I've always found that really romantic and like a thing I'd love. Like you get to be in a fucking different city at a different place, and that type of life experience of traveling. And so, you know, kind of having it set up of, well, we're going to go do this Grand Canyon trip. And that's its own thing, you know, alone. I mean, that's not exactly, you know, just bailing. I mean, that is a full plan, but you are sleeping outside for 2 weeks.
True. That was 16. That was 16 days out there, right?
Yeah, 15 nights. And it just so happened that it coincided with a trip to me going to Portland after. And because we drove out to the Grand Canyon, which is 20 hours from home, and it's 20 hours from Portland, it just made more sense that if I need to be in Portland in 3 days to do this game, I don't want to drive home and then get on a flight.
Yeah.
The other side of it with having my truck and having the tent and all that type of stuff was like, I like options. And I never, ever in any of this trip didn't have a place to stay. I know people everywhere now. And so I was able to, you know, finish the Grand Canyon trip and then stay with Chrissy and Ben in Reno for a night. And then I'm able to go to Portland and stay with Desiree. And Desiree's basically staying with her dude. And so I just had her place to myself. So I have a house in Portland that I can work and operate from.
Right.
The big one for this trip that I wanted to do was I wanted to operate normally, but in a different place.
That's two challenges.
I'm
when I
not
hear
on
that,
vacation.
right? And operate normally traveling is already its own challenge.
Yes.
It really is. Like it's not even just like the work thing. And I know that's part of what you mean is like the work thing operating normally is part of it, but really just operate like this morning, like you and I both got up, you could both see we have our things, like we have our rituals, you know, water, movement, coffee, all that kind of stuff. And like it's very easy to completely lose that on the road, lose it. And
Yeah,
so
easy.
yeah.
It's easy also to convince yourself that you're on vacation.
Yeah, that's
right?
well
And
said.
vacation means I'm going to eat shitty food and I get to spoil myself and I'm going to eat out every meal and these type of things for me. But if I want to be able to do the extended travel that I do, I need to realize that that's the life I have. Is I travel. I'm not on vacation.
That's part of the job. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not a vacation.
Yeah,
from it.
you're welcome to be anywhere you want to and do your job, but we still need to go to the gym. We still need to sit down and work and edit. If that means find a coffee shop or that means sit in a fucking van
Yeah.
and do it, we do it. You know, and that's edit a couple videos a week and still film stuff and still give a shit.
And running the business back
Yeah.
home, keeping the anchors
Yeah.
in, like that's, and it almost seems to me that, especially with the contrast of that trip now and being back here, it almost seems like this is the place where you shift down gears. Like home is almost like the vacation spot where it's like,
A little bit.
I'm going to lay back a little bit. I'm going to get more, you have more time to do the things that you prefer instead of having to fit everything into,
Yeah.
like here's the palette I'm working with that day, whereas this is everything's a little more predictable.
Yeah, but I don't operate great here either.
Yeah.
It's not that it's too comfortable. But I do have a tendency here to be more comfortable. Of course, right? It's my house.
Yeah, that's the challenge I run into working
And
at
so
home.
but I've worked from home forever. Mm-hmm. So I don't have a problem with the discipline of getting up and getting shit done. It gets really loud to me when I've been home for 2 weeks or 3, of like, we need to fucking go. We need to go find a thing that be inspired and something new and a new thing because it's routine. And routine to me just sucks time away from you.
Yeah.
Because you can very easily just bail and 2 weeks passes by. Like the 3 weeks that I've got now before I leave again will fucking be a snap of the fingers.
Right.
Whereas 2 weeks in Iceland was really slow.
Sure. And especially with the people and the timing of that place.
Because you're constantly stimulated and it's a new thing. I'm paying attention to where I'm driving. I'm not in my car. Do I have the right amount of stuff because I'm leaving to go camp? Did I wash clothes? Did I go to the gym?
And at the risk of it being a buzzword thing, like trips like that, there is mindfulness involved. There's a lot more. Because you can't autopilot things as much.
Right.
You
and
absolutely
I can fully autopilot it.
So then let me take this turn and ask, is the decision to spend so much time either in a van, in your truck, or out of doors, was part of that wanting to break out of the routine of travel? That travel, you've done so much for so many years that it became a routine? Was it a desire to want to break out of that a little bit?
A part of it is like the travel that I've done a lot over the last year ends up like I'm going to a place, I'm going to be with these people, and I've got these things to do.
Sure.
And I can, whether it's record podcast or do whatever, like I pretty much itinerary it out and I'll fucking run myself into the earth. Which I like that. I operate much better with my hair on fire. Mm-hmm. But this trip, I wanted it to be different. I wanted more solitude. And camping does that.
For sure.
And so I wanted more, I'm going to be alone and think and create. And I wanted to come up with new concepts and designs. And I wanted to think of ideas of how to make some moves and change things and different business ideas and think about, writing more introspective on the things I've done, like working on this book about, knee surgery and kind of rereading it and thinking about like what was cut short and then like what's my perspective now versus going through surgery and being like, all right, we rehab this thing and then we're back to throwing. Mm-hmm. And then reading that with now the hindsight of like, oh, that ain't ever fucking happening, bud.
Right.
So I wanted some of those moments to sit and be by myself without distraction.
So what's the difference? Why can't that happen in a hotel room?
It can.
But why, is there a different kind of solitude? And I'm asking a question that I think I already have an answer to, but I want to know what you think is. Are there different kinds of solitude? And is somehow being out there, either in a van, in a tent, in the truck, is that a different kind of solitude? Is there something different out there than
for me? So for me, yes, and for me right now, Yes. I think that's the easiest thing. That I've really enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed being outside more and being a little bit more engulfed in nature or a different place. Somewhere not as comfortable.
Sure.
While, don't get me fucking wrong, I'm sleeping in a nice tent on top of a nice vehicle.
Sure.
I'm not fucking roughing it.
Yeah, right. You're not scratching out of the earth to get a place to sleep. You're not. It's
No, and if I have any trouble, I just get a hotel.
sure. Yeah.
I have the option.
Yeah, and that is nice to have, but I really do think that there was something different about you. It's not like the being outdoors is a new thing. It's not like this trip. You all this stuff on your truck, all the gear you have didn't just appear. This has been a part of who you are for a while. I just thought it was such an interesting pitched moment where it was such a purposeful seeking of that. Like you really purposefully sought out to just get a little uncomfortable.
Well, I've always, back to that thing I said, like looking at people that can just fuck off and don't have a home and don't have, well, why can't I? Why can't I, if I manage things correctly, live in Iceland for 90 days? Mm-hmm. What are the main headaches that people run into? Well, I don't have vacation time. I have too many responsibilities with kids or whatever it is that you can't leave. I don't have that.
Right. So why not take advantage?
Yeah. Because I don't know that I have it tomorrow.
Sure.
What I did this year travel wise with this big trip all summer, like I don't know that opportunity presents itself next year.
Yeah.
And so I think about different moments of like seizing that time. And I mean, how many throwers do we know that want to go to Scotland and do games week? I mean, you included.
Yeah, I'm one of them.
Right? I did that in 2016. I went to Scotland and competed for 3 weeks. Finished on a world champion, at Worlds in Halkirk. And threw my ass off. If I waited, I don't get to do it. I'm not competing. I went in 2016. I don't throw after that, man.
Yeah, that was right near the end of it all.
It's real easy to push that off. It's like, I can do it next year.
Sure, yeah. But there's not an infinite timeline, especially on something
sure as fuck not. There's not an infinite timeline. That sentence can stop there.
Not for us.
Right.
Definitely not for us.
Fucking get going, man. And if I've got some expendable income and expendable time at this point in my life, that's where I want it to be, is doing new crazy life shit. And dude, when I turn, like, the idea of like working my ass off right now and being the the ant, and putting everything away so that I get to retire and be comfortable and blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't fucking like relaxing. So that lifestyle isn't something I'm looking forward to.
Relaxing in the traditional sense becomes stressful after a few hours.
I fucking hate it. It's just watching time click, dude.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Not cool with that.
I can take moments or a day.
That's why I'm bad at napping. I swear to God, I'm bad at napping.
I'm not great at it.
My wife rides me all the time when we have tough sleep stretches or whatever. When the kids were younger, like, just grab a nap, and I'll legitimately try.
I like to lay down.
Sure, yeah, cool.
But
Laying
actually
down.
fall asleep. Nah.
Yeah, laying down's cool. But I mean, laying down, I can still even constructively think. And you know what? That's not smart, because we know plenty of smart people that will extol the virtues of napping and actually, getting sleep at non-standard times, and it is good for you. So it's not like a bragging thing to say, like, look how much I hustle that I never nap. It's not a healthy thing.
I think a lot of those people also do a different sleep schedule than me, where they will end up staying up late and working.
Yeah, that's true.
Much like that. And I don't stay up late.
Yeah, you do have a boundary there.
I fucking go to bed at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
And I get real shitty quick. It's got to be fucking something special, man, for me to stay up later than 10 p.m.
Yeah, like it's...
Because I want to be awake at 6.
Yeah.
I like it. I like being up when the sun gets up.
And the dirty little secret is you're going to be awake at 6 whether you want to or not. So you kind of... You see that coming. You know that there is a wake-up point that's happening. So you start doing the calculus. You start doing the math. How many hours of sleep are happening before that? How'd you sleep when you were out on the road? When you were out in nature, in the van? How was the sleep?
That was good. I sleep really well. I'm not a person that struggles to sleep. I mean,
Okay.
kind of a joke with Ashley is basically if you hold me still for long enough, I'll fall asleep. Like, I mean, it's no big deal for us. Like when we were traveling to Iceland, like I was tired that day. I was beat up. I kind of had a little bit of a cold, and had just really gotten off of a long bit of travel. And then like we were in the airport in Dallas and had a 4-hour layover, and that's nothing for me to. I'll lay on the fucking floor and fall asleep.
Right.
Like, boom, lights out. And then like she's panicky about stuff, and like so stuff like that causes me no anxiety.
Right.
I was like, of course I'll wake up for my flight. I have an alarm.
Yeah.
I do have no fear of that.
I got the tools.
Yeah,
I'm good.
whatsoever. I trust my alarm clock.
Well, and then you're flying into Iceland where it's summertime and it's always daytime.
Nah, it's not crazy right now.
It's not bad?
Um,
Okay.
So it's dark by midnight.
Okay.
Um,
But still.
yeah.
That's midnight.
It's dark by midnight. So you figure there's a 5-hour time difference. So I think I did not adjust my clock at all this trip, basically. Hasey stays up late and watches movies and play video games, so I just hung out with him that night. And I mean, the nights that I went to bed early were the nights I camped.
Right.
Because if I was at home with Hasey, we ended up drinking beer and staying up. Mm-hmm. And so I would go to bed at 2, which is 10 here.
Right.
Perfect. And then I'd sleep till 10 a.m.,
Right.
you know? So that's 5-ish here. And I just never adjusted. And even sleeping out in the van, like I'd go to bed a little bit earlier, but I woke up at 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Yeah. It's weird how, like, and when having spent time outdoors and when you sleep outdoors when you camp, how quickly your biological clock sets to a realistic sleeping schedule.
Well, it sets to the sun
Yeah, like you
really quickly.
Yeah, like it just the way I'm there's sciencey, but the way our pituitary gland, the way that it perceives light and everything. And I'm sure I'm getting that wrong, but like it really is
It
amazing.
just sets your circadian rhythm to the sun. And I mean, for the life of me, I've spent time in Iceland during the winter, and that'd be fucking tough, dude. And I've been there for weeks, but
Yeah.
not for a winter.
Right.
Not with. Well, we kind of got some sunlight, and by sunlight I mean it's fucking gray.
Right.
And that's what Iceland mostly deals with more than anything else. It's that it's gray. It's just fucking Ohio.
But yeah, very very familiar.
Gray dome.
Like just sun behind clouds constantly.
Sun behind clouds and piss and rain.
Yeah.
And during the winter there, it's cold. It's not crazy cold.
Yeah.
It's freezing. It's in the 20s.
Mm-hmm.
And you only have daylight from like 11:30 a.m. until 2.
Yeah, and I feel like
And it's kind of daylight. And you can smooth miss that window sleeping there.
right. Just
Oops.
I missed the actual day.
Yeah, it's gone. I guess we'll just lay here on the couch and go back to sleep because you can very easily punch back out.
See, it's just strange. Like you talk about, being in new different places that challenge you. And I think that's one that until somebody is in a place like that, you would never have it occur to you. That's a cultural thing that they've either overcome or adapted to as a culture. And it's just something we never have to, how I always
Now, I didn't realize it, but they definitely still deal with like the seasonal affective disorder. And they have the same kind of issues.
do they do like blue lights and vitamin D, a lot of people? Do they?
It's becoming more popular.
Yeah, I imagine.
So
It's more affordable to do now than it's ever been. But I mean, you've heard me talk before about like, I really believe that the weather in California makes people cocky. Because you're just comfortable all the time. Like your choices aren't punished.
you don't have seasons.
Yeah, so you're not punished by the weather for bad choices that you make.
No,
like
California gets pissy because it rained for a week.
right. So like it's another version of that. Like we probably get super cocky because like, hey, our days and nights are usually the same length. I can pretty much count on that I'm gonna have the same length day and night all the time.
Yeah, and that's basically us year round. I mean. So Iceland doesn't do daylight savings time, which we shouldn't either. It's
No one should.
fucking obnoxious.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Why is it so fucking dumb? Why is that a thing we haven't moved past. I get why we have it.
Sure. But why nobody...
I'm not running crops.
Right.
Why don't they just goddamn get up earlier?
Arizona's got it, man. It's the one thing they got right. Arizona got rid of it.
Yeah, who the fuck lives there?
Apparently the right kind of person to get rid of both daylight savings time and MLK Day. Those are the people.
Those are bold.
Those are your Arizona residents, right?
I think it's written that if you do one,
they're connected. Yeah.
It's somehow like
I'm not a
It's basically just a two-party system. The way that we're set up, like I can't believe in freedom. I can't believe in be pro-choice and also like having a gun.
Yeah, no, those are they're linked. I'm not a constitutional scholar, but it's somewhere in there.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Okay, so contrasted with the Iceland experience, though, like that whole thing kicked off that 15-day Grand Canyon experience, and that one, that to me is awesome because that really was like you guys were camping completely outside.
Yes.
Like that was
like no tent.
That's kayaking
Most
down.
nights.
That's boating down a river. No tent. I didn't even realize that.
It's too fucking hot.
Oh, there's just no point.
The tent's a goddamn sweat lodge. You just die in there.
It's just that's
somehow the fucking tents that we have, and they're nice, and so like by the third night we set the tent up every night. Because there could be a fucking windstorm in the middle of the night, and it was like kind of monsoon season in Grand Canyon, so it was no big deal to also like, cool, it's raining.
Because you are in a desert, like
yeah,
it's
it's a fucking desert.
You can't miss that point. That it's not, and deserts aren't just always like calm and hot. They're fucking nightmare places sometimes in terms of weather.
Yeah, and especially because like the sand on all the beaches we stay on is basically like talcum powder,
super fine,
super fine, so it gets kicked up. And just like Ashley and I slept a couple nights with just like a sarong like wrapped around my head.
Yeah.
To breathe. Right. And you're just like, oh cool, the rest of me is getting pelted with sand. I guess that's my life now.
I'll just feel this way forever.
I'm just gonna lay here and just wake up and be like, fuck, I hate this. Like I haven't had food in 3 days that hasn't had crunch in it.
Right.
Like you hear stories of like the Indian tribes there like all lose their teeth because of like sand.
Yeah, there's
like,
grinding.
What's the fucking problem? And I'm like, I get it.
Yeah,
you can't get away from it.
It's everywhere.
We are sand. Yeah, that's how it felt, man. But like, yeah, it's too fucking hot, and so like, you only got in the tent because it's raining,
sure,
or the wind picked up.
Because otherwise, you need air movement.
Yeah,
to keep from dying.
The tent somehow in the design of a tent, those tents. The vent on both sides of it were huge. I mean, big fucking door vent, right? And you have a rain fly. But if you were just laying there with the door vents and no rain fly on the tent, somehow that vent stops all the air from getting through it, but none of the sand.
I'm not sure on the geometry of that. I don't know.
I don't fucking like it, dude. It was, the nights were the hardest part of that trip.
Just trying to sleep.
Being on the river is fucking rad.
Right.
I could do that all day.
Because you're actively experiencing something
things.
and you can get past.
And like, I don't ever remember being like, I am so fucking tired, I hate this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't ever remember that. I wasn't bummed when I got back to a bed though.
Right.
Which
make you appreciate that a whole lot more.
4 showers to get the stink off of it. I just fucking stank, dude.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure there's still sand coming off you from that Grand Canyon sand. I think it's worn down by a river for that many millions of years. It's not gonna
6,000. It's amazing.
according to the one correct book.
Yeah, that textbook we all like.
So you've made no secret about the idea when you were training as an athlete, and even to this day when you still lift and train, is that the idea of being uncomfortable is pretty important, and that you should find things that make you uncomfortable. And once it's uncomfortable, once it starts to get comfortable, you need to move on, or you need to find something. You need to add stimulus. You need to do something. Do you think that's related to this big desire to want to get out there?
Yeah.
Now, and I know that with the knee injury that you've had, that your whole paradigm has kind of changed in terms of training. And it's hard not, you know what I mean? It's hard not to draw a line from A to B and say like, well, this isn't, maybe he can't make himself as uncomfortable as he wants to be anymore. maybe we're finding a new way.
You're right. And that's real true. It's just, the thing that I keep coming back to is like, I just want to fuck off more. And that's really what I described camping as, is like, I'm going to go fuck off.
Yeah, you never don't feel like a kid that got sent outside to play when you're camping.
No, and there's less distraction, right?
For sure.
You know, I mean, if I'm home, I've got a closet full of fucking clothes that need to be put away. I've got a backyard that needs to be sorted out, and I've got, you know, what are we doing for dinner, and was this thought about? And if I'm camping, I don't give a shit about any of that.
Right. It's much more like it's more like by the moment. I'm not saying that you can't go out into the outdoors without a plan, because you need to, but the way that I think about it is,
Look, there's a big fucking difference between surviving outdoor and what I'm doing.
And more comfortably camping, for sure. But still, I think the same principles apply, and I think that's why there's a market for people that will pull an RV up and plug it in at a camp, and then there's people that will primitive camp, or, you know, that'll actually do it, you know, that'll climb the faces of mountains and actually go camp. Like, I think it's all in the same spectrum, because you're getting different doses of the same thing. I think you're getting that idea, like,
what the camping
you get to improvise
you,
a little bit.
What the camping allows you to do with stuff like that is it doesn't have to be a one-day trip. You don't have to get it all done.
Right. It's not trying
in a
to
timeline.
Get to every part of the Magic Kingdom in one day. Like,
Right.
It's not that kind of experience.
Exactly right. And that was a big part of what I wanted from this long 8 weeks was, can I sustain living doing this?
Yeah.
Can I do a sustained travel? And I've always wanted to. You know, I've looked at, you know, different vloggers and things like that I watch and follow that will do that. And I'm super turned on by that lifestyle.
Yeah. Why?
Because you're doing whatever you want. You know, you're not locked in that cube, and you're experiencing new things every day. And I think that's part of it for me, is that slowing down time, the concept of time. It's really easy for me to lose days, and I think about being hurt and being on the couch and being, you know, 8 weeks in a straight leg brace where I'm not supposed to put any pressure on my legs, so you just fucking hang out. Like, I don't have anything to tell you that happened during that 8 weeks. Mm-hmm. There's nothing significant.
It just happened.
It's Groundhog's Day.
It's 8 weeks that happened.
And man, I just terrified of the idea of that life of, like, I turned 60. How'd that happen? I was 20 yesterday.
Yeah. So, but you know, a lot of people that are going to hear this are going to think about, especially people that aren't, you know, as comfortable with the outdoors and camping and hiking, whatever it is.
There's tons of ways to do it.
But they're going to hear this and they're going to think, well, that sounds like I just have to do more stuff when I'm out there. Like, I have to think about more and I have to be responsible for more. Because, I mean, you do. You can't just, you still have to eat. You still have to get shelter and everything.
You don't have to be, like, stimulation comes in a lot of different forms. I don't have to be stimulated because I'm constantly going and need, you know, do touristy bullshit. Mm-hmm. You know, stimulation for me can be that I'm alone. And that I'm just alone in a place that I like. You know, and it's trying to find different places that resonate with you differently.
Solitude versus being alone. I think that's the best way to think about it. Different. Because you're alone in your house, but you can walk outside and somebody's going to walk up, or you can pick up a phone. Like, how far do you have to get to not be in solitude anymore?
Now, with that said, like the 2 weeks that I was on the Grand Canyon and my phone didn't work, not that into it. There's too much anxiety that comes from that. Yeah. It doesn't outweigh the benefit of being disconnected for me. There's definitely times that I'm annoyed by it.
Sure.
But I'm not fucking mad about social media or the phone or any of these type of things, because that provides me my whole goddamn life.
Yeah.
I am not mad at that thing. This has worked out swimmingly.
Yeah, it's good.
You know? And so the only thing that can keep me from doing my job is no service.
Yeah. It really does.
Only fucking thing that stops it.
Well, that's the way we've set this whole thing up.
Right. That's the only thing that stops it. And so I just can't. Don't go to places that don't have cell service. That's your only fucking requirement.
Yeah, but I disagree. I think it's important that you did. I think it's good that you did. And if nothing else, that you can come back 16, 15 days later and realize, like, okay, that's where it fits in my life.
Yeah.
And I think just to see, it's just like anything else. You removed it for 15 days.
No, look, I think I could very easily just ditch the phone for 48 hours for a weekend.
Sure.
No big deal.
And that doesn't seem like a big deal.
Nope.
Especially after 15 days without.
It's not a big deal.
And you're not the kind of person that I really think of as like a phone addict. It sounds like the way we're framing it. No, you are able to have conversations. You're able to have interactions and do things that are important and leave it sitting.
Yeah.
And it's not a social crutch for you at all when you're in person. There are people that they keep it as like,
Oh, I definitely get bad. If I'm bored, I immediately go.
oh, but yeah, boredom's the thing that makes it the worst. But you don't. I've never seen you choose it over.
No, but I also
Human interaction.
personality realize that if I'm in a situation and I'm bored and I'm just going to sit on my phone, I leave.
Just don't be in that situation.
I
anymore.
don't feel any of that. That that's another bit. Like I don't feel any of that obligation to be at a place anymore.
Isn't that nice?
Just don't give a shit.
That's. I mean, that's,
I'm gonna leave. Well, why? Because I don't want to be here.
yeah, that's some straight up old man shit.
Yeah,
that has
I'm
just
stoked
happened.
that everyone's having a good time. I'm gonna go.
I'm not, and it's not in a shitty way. Like
No, it's not that this sucks. It's just I don't care.
It's like, I don't care about it. I'm not providing anything. I'm not contributing anything to this.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Like,
And
I'm here because you think I should be, or I'm here because I think I should be, and we're not really talking. Like, this is dumb. I'm going to go.
Yeah, like that's
Fuck this. I'm going home.
a lovely little bit of freedom that I think a lot of people can get back in their lives, honestly, is just figuring out where you choose to be and where you don't. Because, look, yeah, you have to go to your job. I get it. And you are contributing something and you're making money for your family. You know, I get it if you got to be there, but I don't know, like every party you get invited to, like every neighborhood event, do you have to?
Nope.
Like
Well, people do that, dude, and that's weddings or fucking all this bullshit that people complain that they have to go do.
yeah.
And for I don't know when it was, but there was a switch that flipped, and I don't feel that obligation at all. I don't feel that obligation or that responsibility to do those things at all.
Yeah.
So once that switch happened, it's then realizing that if I am at a place, this was a choice. I didn't have to be here. You chose to be here.
Yeah. And that's massively important as well.
Yeah, and that's flying to Iceland and being aggravated with delays and a 3.5 hour delay on the way there and getting there later than we want to, and that it doesn't change anything. It's fucking a slight inconvenience.
Right. But it's all part of what you chose. Your name's on the ticket.
It's being, in a chair that wasn't very comfortable on American Airlines, being kind of fucking bootleg, and like not having TVs on the back of the seats or anything that I was expecting to have from previous trips.
Right.
And so I'm like, oh, I didn't plan anything, so I didn't download anything to my tablet. And then, oh, cool, there's free movies to watch through American Airlines on their Wi-Fi, except for I'm supposed to have downloaded the app to do that, and I can't download the app while I'm on the plane using their Wi-Fi.
In the sky, yeah.
So it's like, you fucks.
It's beautiful.
And so it's just, suck it up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
right.
It's just realize that, like, you chose to be here, man. This was it. This was your choice. You're here because you want to be.
Yeah.
This isn't some business trip that you were forced to go do or some fucking family vacation.
Right. This is your pick.
Right.
And
so when you're not sleeping and you're not doing that and you're tired, like, I deserve every minute of it.
Yeah. Well, anybody that's ever bitched about getting in shape or bitched about lifting or running, it's like you realize every single rep of the barbell and every step is a choice, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you can bitch about it if you want to, or say that it's hard or not feel good or quit about it. You chose to set yourself up and do that. So either you can choose to think, okay, yeah, I'll keep powering through. It's okay for stuff to suck. It's okay to admit that stuff sucks.
Dude, there's nothing. It does. The stuff sucks.
Yeah.
And like, I don't particularly love the way that I have to train right now. Fucking hate it.
Right.
This isn't how I like lifting. But this is what it is.
Right.
And so the choice becomes, do we still lift and we still hold strong what we believe is important? Or do we let it fucking slide and lapse and we crumbled because it's not exactly what we wanted?
Yeah. So, yeah, and it's beautiful because apply that question that you asked about it to basically anything else that's important to you in life, and you know what the answer is. Of course you don't stop. Of course it is. But it's just so amazing that we can have that sort of crisis about something like exercise. It's amazing, right? Like, that becomes such a big thing. But I think there's also, with you in particular, you've realized that there's much more at stake behind not training and pushing yourself physically than just your body. There's more at stake. There's a psychological effect. Mm-hmm. There's part of who you are and the things you've been able to develop as a person. I think anybody that spends enough time with a barbell, spends enough time training towards anything, they realize that it becomes a big part of your makeup. It's not just what it does to your body.
Because it's consistent. Because the barbell, more than anything else, whether work's got other bullshit involved, right? Like, climbing the ladder or trying to get a raise or trying to move up in a company there's a lot of variables. Mm-hmm. It is, did this work out, or did this person quit, or did this position become open? Is the company doing well?
A lot of other people involved.
There's a lot of other people involved. And it's the same thing that I was attracted to with track and field instead of football was, this is pass fail, and it's fucking meant on me. Like, my success or failure here is on my fucking back.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm all right with failing. That's fine. And with training, like, it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter your income, and it doesn't matter who your parents are. If you want to continually get stronger or better, you have to put your time on the fucking bar.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who you are. The Rock still has to go to the fucking gym, man.
Right.
He can't phone that one in. There's not an assistant that can do it for him. There's not.
That's perfect. Yeah.
I thought about that whenever, Nico was tattooing him. I'm like, tattooing's the same way. Like, you can't phone that in. Like, you can't hand that torch off to somebody.
No.
If you want a big piece done, you got to show up and sit.
Yeah. And that's why I honestly think that you can classify everything that an athlete does, or working with a barbell, working with weights. You can classify those as craft.
Yeah, I agree.
That's because you're exactly right. You can't substitute the skill and the time and the experience with anything else. You can't buy your way into it.
Nope.
Like, no matter how nice of a barbell you get, no matter how nice your rig is, it doesn't change what happens in it.
No, and don't get me wrong, we're not starting at the same place.
Right.
I just genetically and athletic background, I was very gifted. Things have worked out really well for me, and that's not the same as someone with a disability or someone that didn't realize everything they were eating was killing them.
Right.
And fucking turned 25 and needed to lose 200 pounds.
Yeah.
My push was different, but you still got to be the one to choose the diet.
Right.
You got to be the one to not put bullshit in your mouth.
Right. Your outcome may be different than a world champion athlete's.
Yeah.
The outcome may be different, but the process looks pretty goddamn similar.
Yeah, and that's part of what I find impressive with people that diet well or any of that too, because like that one is strictly on you and discipline.
Yeah.
Because today you're going to eat.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna do it.
Yeah.
And so it just comes down to what choice that you physically take to put what in your mouth. Because that is something you like. That's why I never understood how someone would have trouble quitting smoking, Spencer. And because, like, you can't, it's not breathing. You didn't fucking accidentally have a cigarette.
Right.
You went to a store, you bought a thing, you took it back with you, you carried it with you, you carry a lighter, and you physically have to raise your arm to your face to do it.
Yeah. Nobody's lying to you about what it is.
Right. And so that's discipline. That's the same with trying not to eat like such an asshole.
Yeah.
You're the one putting that food in there.
Right.
No one's ever fed me.
Not since I can remember.
Right. It's been a minute. And so try to make fucking smarter choices there. It's the same as the gym. Right now, I suffer in the gym by doing stupid shit the same way I suffer by eating bad food.
Yeah.
Like, oh, cool, you get to feel for shit for 2 days.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah. So maybe don't try to squat so heavy, dum-dum. You have a really shit knee.
Oh, yeah, that.
Yeah, things are fucked.
So speaking of diet, how was that Grand Canyon food? What did you guys subsist on out there?
Ooh, fucking ate great.
Yeah?
Yeah, and we were with a big outfitter.
Yeah.
And so, they cook every night for us, and, like, for the most part, like, breakfast. I usually would skip breakfast just because I'm kind of into that now.
You kind of do anyway. Yeah.
And so I really didn't need it because I was eating more carbohydrates and other stuff. I pooped really well while we were on that trip. I was very consistent and good.
Fantastic.
But they feed you appropriately for that.
Right. And
They're feeding you a high fiber.
they have all those porta potties set up on the river, right? That you can just
Shit in an ammo can, man. The groover.
I love it.
Well, it's called the groover. That is, apparently, that was my question. I was like, is this a thing? They're like, no. Groover is the term for it because it's like a big ammo can.
Okay.
And
see, because what I'm thinking of is like the little rectangular ammo cans, just like the.
it's about that, just taller.
Okay. But I'm thinking like, a foot long by like 6 inches wide.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. So that's your
Just
toilet.
taller, so you don't have to get down as low.
Right. And so they fashion a toilet seat onto the top of it.
Nice.
And you have a lid, and everyone shits in there.
What
Try not to pee in it.
What happens to the shit?
You take it with you.
Just till the end of the trip.
You have that ammo can for 2 days, and then the next ammo can comes out for the next 2 days.
Okay. Per
So you have
person or per
7
group?
Per group. So you have 7 ammo cans for
20
14 days.
And you'll have like 25, 26 total.
26 total bill, yeah.
26 total people, 15 days worth of shit.
Yeah.
That's a dimension of this that had not occurred to me.
You're carrying them, and there's a company who cleans groovers. Like you just, that someone decided like there's a need for that job.
God, economics are amazing.
Yeah,
that
right.
there's an
So,
entire little
industry.
mini economy based around people shitting on the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, because you figure 25,000 people go through the Grand Canyon.
And they can't just be shitting on the shore in the river.
Can't do it, dude. It's too many people. You're not allowed to piss like in the sand.
Because it'll wash in?
Well, not because they'll wash in. You piss in the water all you want.
Okay.
You're just going to piss in the river. The solution to pollution is dilution.
There you go.
If you will.
That makes sense. The poop thing makes sense.
Yeah, because there's some point that people are like, there's too much poop in the river. We need to not do that.
Yeah, this wasn't a thing. That was probably forethought.
Yeah, no. There was definitely some point where like, this is getting
Yikes. A lot of turds.
a lot of turds in the old river.
So man, I can't believe that just as much as I spend time outdoors and love it now, like this doesn't occur to me.
Yeah.
Still to think about like that's that much shit being carried with you guys. They have to plan in like the cargo bill. They have to plan for the weight.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, you're in fucking floatable boats. And so you're also losing food.
That's true. I imagine it's a pretty close approximation.
Yeah. I think you're probably still lighter at the end of it than you are.
Probably a pretty close ratio.
But the reason it's called a groover is because before they started fashioning toilet seats on the top, you just sat on the ammo can and it would leave 2 grooves in the side of your ass.
That's fantastic. That is fantastic. So practical.
But some of the best views I've ever had taking dumps.
Right?
Great. They'd always set the groover up in a really nice spot, like facing the river, and it was excellent.
That's experience in play right there. That's good.
There's a bit of a line usually to the groover, and it's good.
So
Very, very big on like wash hands before and after. Wash hands before and after you eat. Like keep people from getting fucking sick.
yeah,
Because getting sick down there is a real problem. And you're fucked.
yeah. There's no easy way to come get you out.
Oh, helicopter. That's what they do.
Whew.
You just get choppered out.
Everybody stay pretty healthy on this trip though.
Yeah. No one got sick.
It's good.
Yeah.
Nope.
It was, and we're a very fit group
That helps.
overall. And that was something like our guide said, because like they would take us on hikes that they've done before that they plan on being a 5-hour hike, and our group knocks it out in 3.
Yeah.
Not counting me.
So did Kelly and Juliet, were they a lot more comfortable in the water than everybody else? I would imagine.
Well,
it was,
not everybody else, like the guides.
yeah, I guess. They're used to
But-
that kind of water a lot.
But yeah, it was really cool seeing them do their thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
As much time as I've spent with them, like they've never seen me throw, and I've never
seen
seen
them in
them
the water.
do water stuff.
Yeah. That's cool.
And so it was cool seeing them do like, oh yeah, this is what you do. You're a fucking boater.
Right. And that's I think another great advantage of that, especially doing it with people, because I think there's 2 kinds of things. And the first part we really talked about a lot, you being alone in the solitude, but what you get to know about people when you're out of buildings with them, when you're out of that professional or polite environment with people, and what you get to know about it. There's really no quicker way to get to see somebody for who they really are, to get to see talents that you don't know that somebody had. Like I'm fully convinced that, being out of doors, camping, hiking, hunting, all the things, mountain climbing, it requires 2 things. You have to be, a lot of times we say these are one or the other personality-wise with people, is that you're either a very organized pre-planning person, or you're a person that's more like us, that's happier being in the crazy moment and improvising and figuring it out. You like to think there's two different kinds of people, but to be really good at the outdoors, you have to be both.
You have to be both.
You have to be super prepared, and you have to be
sure.
able to take what comes at you.
So I have definitely now figured out, after the Grand Canyon and camping a bunch, driving, what things really fucking aggravate me.
Yeah.
I don't like dealing with a panic that I could have avoided.
For sure.
So that's one that I fucking hate.
Yeah.
Like, so, for me in the Grand Canyon, that was like everyone deciding that, like, we're not setting the tents up tonight. We're not going to set the tents up. We're just going to fucking gut it out.
Yeah.
I'm just like, why the fuck? What are we talking about? Why would we do that? And so for me, I'm like, setting up a tent takes 3 minutes.
Sure.
And this is something I can do right now when it's not windy and we're not in the middle of a storm and there's daylight out and my tent's ready.
Seems to make sense.
I'll sleep over here, not in the tent, and have the tent just sit there.
Just have the option.
Yes. You motherfuckers do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But I'm not waking up to rain or wind at 3 a.m. and then finding my tent and then finding rocks in the dark, doing all this by headlamp, when I could have just moved into the fucking tent and not gotten sweaty and wide awake and panicked.
Right. Even if you're a pro level tent putter togetherer.
Yeah, I don't.
That's still.
I don't deal with that level of shit well.
Yeah.
Like camping in the Pacific Northwest, I was on the beach with Heather and Kara, and like the water's kind of coming in, and like we're not sure if you can actually sleep on the beach where we were stationed, and so we moved a bit and kind of see everyone else leaving, and like definitely no overnight. Do we just want to ride it out until someone comes and tells us to leave, or do we go? And I'm like, we're going. I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, yeah, that's avoidable panic.
Right.
That is me sleeping and some fucking cop coming out here at 3 a.m. and saying, hey, you can't be here.
Right.
And I'm like, motherfuck. So now I've got to close up all this bullshit in the dark.
At 3 a.m.
At 3 a.m, tired and pissy, and
Right.
deal with 2 other humans.
Right. Or I just do it all right
or we
now.
can just go now and I get to sleep.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I want. Avoidable panic is something I'm trying to fucking get out of in my life.
Yes, and but you know the fun of it all is that as much as you try to get out of avoidable panic, you're eventually going to get in a situation where you have to make fast decisions, and you're gonna have things, unexpected shit that comes up.
Fast decisions, improvisation's fun.
Yeah,
But like,
it's my favorite.
Like, I'm a guy who makes enough money that I don't have to worry about the price of gas.
Right.
Right? So if I'm ever in a vehicle that runs out of fuel, you're a dick.
Right.
This is a problem that you didn't need to have. You created this.
That's
This is
squarely-
100%
squarely
your
on-
fucking fault.
Squarely on you.
Yeah, there's places that sell gas, and you pass a bunch of them. And like that was, and some of the drives that we were on, like, if there was a gas station and we were half a tank or lower, we stopped.
Yeah. Especially when you're in Nevada.
Fucking Wyoming,
Yeah.
which is, like I said, we did 140 miles in Wyoming with no cell service.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fucking long stretch through a state
Yeah.
that has people in it.
Right. Yeah. Like they vote and
Yeah.
stuff.
God damn, dude. Into Medicine Bow and other small towns. Medicine Bow is kind of cool, man.
Oh yeah. Everybody.
That's definitely, like, we stopped and ate at that bar, and that's a highlight of the trip. And so, like, part of that makes me want to do like a podcast deal where I actually, if I'm traveling like that again, like try to interview
Just locals.
locals.
That'd be fun.
Like, you know, not be condescending about it, but like small town strangers, I guess would essentially be like the part of it.
Right.
And like, I want to talk to this 40-year-old lady who works at the bar in Medicine Bow, Wyoming, and probably has been in Medicine Bow, Wyoming. Or that's what I'm, is this where you're from and you've never left?
Right. Which
Or
is
did you land here?
like both stories are probably just as interesting. Like the story of somebody landing in Medicine Bow, Wyoming, I need to hear that.
Right, and
I
then,
need to hear
like,
how you got there.
If you were born and raised and you, I think, I don't know if there was a high school in Medicine Bow. I assume there is.
Yeah. I mean,
some type
Doesn't
of
there have to be?
education. There has to be, right? Of 250 people that live in this town. And
Graduating
there's another
class of
town of
6.
250 people, and then like the city that kept being referenced to us talking to them, they're like, well, you go to Laramie for blah blah blah, and Laramie's an hour and a half away, and it's 25,000 people.
Monster.
Right, that's Sulphur. That's where I grew
Right.
up in Louisiana, and like that's the city.
That's their hub.
Yeah, and like you need stuff. You might have to make the trip into Laramie. And I'm like, fuck. I was trying to escape Laramie
Right.
as quickly as possible because there's nothing there.
Right. So growing up in Sulphur though, like, which is what, 2 hours from here?
Yeah, 2 hours.
Like 2 hours. I drove kind of
You
through
drive
it.
right through it.
Yeah. Was growing up there as a kid, was this the outdoors? Was it a big part of what you guys did?
Yeah, like we hunted and fished. Like I definitely spent a lot of time in the marsh.
Yeah.
Like we never deer hunted or did any of that, so we didn't do a lot of camping.
Okay.
We had camps.
Yeah.
Like, we had a hunting camp.
Right.
But
everybody kind of
I've
comes
slept
together.
in tents very fucking few nights in my life growing up.
Okay, and that's a fairly southern experience, as far as I can tell. Like, I mean, you know, of course it's nationwide, but I think that's a lot. That's a very southern experience. Is that I think we sort of learned that camping outside isn't always awesome.
No, it's too fucking hot.
Yeah,
here.
it's hot.
too hot here, and things want to eat you.
Yeah, those things will literally eat you alive. Mosquitoes being the smallest of those. So yeah, I guess I'm just curious about that because I know from knowing you that you know you've done your share of hunting and fishing and everything
Yep.
like that. And I know that's just not the space that you're in anymore. It's not your favorite hobby or anything like that.
It just doesn't do anything for me.
And on the
I feel
conversely,
weird like losing it.
yeah,
I feel weird losing the tradition like through my family.
yeah,
Because Andy hunts a bit. Like
Yeah,
Andy definitely still goes to do deer, but like neither of us duck hunt.
yeah. And that was
And
something
we were definitely that was definitely what we did. Like we had a duck lease and we worked on duck blinds and we ran boats through the marsh and we trapped alligators and did all that shit. And that's completely lost. Like in one generation, that's gone.
Yeah, well, that's how it happens, though, man. I've talked about this ad nauseum with my hunting friends that I came from. It's like the reverse with me. My family grew up in southern Mississippi, and they were all, they hunted and fished.
Where is southern Mississippi?
Picayune.
Picayune. Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't realize Desiree. I knew Desiree was from Mississippi.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, so Desiree's from Mississippi. Dude, we were fucking laughing and talking when I was with her. So Desiree Morgan, who's now in Portland, a friend of mine, does Strong Woman. She's awesome. Does Highland Games. Kind of does a bit of everything.
Yeah,
We were laughing, and I guess one of the things I talked about was like I just wanted out of that fucking routine and out of that regular life. And the thing I'd said to her, and she died about it, was I was like, I just can't do the 9 to 5 for 50 weeks of the year at a job I don't give a shit about to go take my 2 weeks vacation in fucking Gulf Shores. And she's like, goddamn Gulf Shores.
goddamn Gulf Shores.
Yeah, and like, it's nice. There's nothing wrong
Sure.
with I prefer the Gulf Coast as far as if I'm going on a beach vacation. I'm going there. I'm not going to fucking California.
Yeah, no, nothing wrong with Gulf
Water's
Shores.
better.
Nothing wrong with it.
Like there or Florida, but like even like Gulf Shores, right? It's just Gulf Shores. And like we did that growing up. We went to the exact same beach house for the most part in Gulf Shores as a big family, like cousins and aunts and uncles every year.
Yeah,
And up until this last year, like Andy and mom and the boys and still do.
yeah,
I just can't.
yeah,
I know that story.
yeah.
It's not new. Like I know what I'm gonna do there. I'm gonna get shit faced every day out on the beach to make the time pass because I don't want to be there. And if that's what I'm doing, what the fuck am I doing there? Just
Yeah.
don't go.
So do you think that's what happened in another version? Do you think that's still what happened to the being outdoors to hunt and fish thing? Do you think
No,
you just?
I think the
you feel like
barrier
you
of
traveled?
entry was too high.
What do you mean? Because it's something that you've done.
It's something I've done for sure. I know how.
Right? Yeah.
That like if you were like, hey, let's go duck hunt tomorrow, I'd be like, okay,
that's duck hunting
this
too,
is
man.
very easy.
Yeah, but duck hunting is pretty equipment intensive.
Well, I need a boat.
Yeah.
But like if you have a boat and you have a lease and a blind, I'm very capable to go duck hunting with
You
you.
can go do it, right?
Yeah, I don't need to be walked through any of these steps.
Right.
But I never ever wanted to look for a lease. I never wanted to find
Right.
one. I never wanted to have a boat. I never wanted to. It was never a priority.
And that's fair. That's
Whereas training is.
right.
My garage is full of a gym.
That's where your toys are.
Yeah.
That's where the boats and the rods and reels and the shotguns would be, where that stuff is. Because you've seen my kind of thing, especially over the last couple of years, is like what's driven me outdoors more and more has been hunting and fishing.
Sure.
And I jokingly, like on the hate, I just made that point, that post, and I called it like hiking with a point, because I was always in this same like rhythm where for a long time, or my wife would want to get outdoors, want to go hike or want to go explore somewhere, and I'd always kind of just and go ahead and do it. I'd have a great time when I got out there.
Yeah.
I'd always have fun when I actually get out there, of course. But now, like that, I've discovered that it gives me, like, I'll hike for 5 miles just to find a good spot for a feeder, or like to find the right camp, and like stuff that I would have never done before, because I feel like there's a purpose and there's a goal at the end of it. And that's, I think, what was so interesting about your trip to me, is that I'm in that mode and I can only think that way, that I don't think I have the get out and camp and explore thing just for the sake of doing it right now. I think I'm using, hunting and fishing as a crutch to do that. And you're such an interesting case to me, because you grew up doing it and it's not an unfamiliar thing to you in the least, but now you're back to this place where you want to be outdoors, you want to have that challenge, but that's not part of it. That's just an interesting contrast for me with somebody like, my whole reason for being outside right now is that I want to get meat. That's the main reason behind it.
Yeah, well, and that's another part of it too. And I realize it's hypocritical, but I get a little bummed out on hunting now. I don't see a lot of difference between my dog and a deer.
Okay.
As far as a life form, but I also eat a shitload of meat, so it ain't like I'm going vegan. I realize that there's...
Right, there's a dissonance there. You get it.
And I don't mind hunting. Like, I'm definitely not anti-hunt.
Yeah.
It just doesn't do anything for me.
This doesn't fit in your life where it is now.
And even like, hey man, we're going to go out to West Texas and go hunt. Do you want to go? I'm like, not really.
Yeah. And that's a perfectly valid answer. I think there's a lot of, just like anything else, there's a lot of people that are super hunting is everything, hunting is their life, and they don't get it.
The whole getting up at 4 to go do a thing. I get up at 4 and it's to go to the fucking airport.
Right.
But getting up at 4 to go sit in a blind and be fucking cold and wet, like, I'm good, dude.
And some of that, I'm telling you, man, some of that has to be is it was such a part of growing up for you.
Of course.
Some of it has to be that the novelty is gone.
I wouldn't say all of my memories hunting with my old man are fucking good ones. I've taken more ass whippings in the blind probably than people should have.
Right.
But
yeah, what really kind of hit for me is what made that a big part of my want to be outdoors is the ethics part of it. Just the ethical part of getting meat. I know that's...
Well, it's not cheaper.
No, it's not.
People think that, like, what? You shot your own deer, you got all this meat. Like, motherfucker, you had to pay for a truck and gas and lease and sit and time and blah, 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 blah.
That first deer is real fucking expensive. That first one's real costly. It gets better, but no, it is the ethics of it. I mean, look, like, you work with meat companies. Like, you work with Stay Classy Meats, and we both know how to get, more ethically sourced meat. We know how to get that. You are going to pay a little more for that service than you are from going to the Fiesta or going to Albertsons. You're going to pay more, but the quality of what you get nutritionally is going to be better, and you're going to get ethically.
If it is or isn't, it's I'm doing it because of the ethical side as much as I'm doing for the actual nutrition content. I mean, at the end of the day, do I think I'm going to see a big benefit in my performance or life or nutrition from eating grass-fed, single-farmed, blah blah blah, over the meat that I buy at Albertsons? No. Yeah. I don't think, I think we're talking 1 or 2%.
Really hard to measure.
I think that I need to be really fucking dialed in. That, like, if I'm also ever going to eat a pizza, it has canceled out whatever benefit this meat has.
And that's just not where you live. That's just not the space that you live in to do that.
But ethically, I really, really don't like factory farming.
Same.
It grosses me out and I hate it. But I understand a need. I also understand that we're supposed to have 300 fucking million people eat affordable protein. Sure. We don't get both.
But you mentioned money before, and this is the same thing. I luckily have that choice that I can spend that extra
to do something. I can put my vote.
Right. And I hate that we can't, as a society, all do that. But like you said, there's a need. But I make a choice, just like you made a choice to put solar panels on your house. Yep. Like, we make that choice to do something that's the tiniest bit ethical. And that can, either, if you want to say that, help us sleep better at night. And maybe also what's cool for me is
I mean, that's one for Ashley and I. Ashley and I are trying to reduce plastic use.
yeah, it's exactly the same. Like that's, dude, it's soul crushing to see what we do to the ocean and what we've done and thinking that we can get away with it. And that's another really good fringe benefit of spending time outside, no matter why you're doing it, whether it's just for exploration's sake, whether it's for solitude's sake or for hunting's sake, is that you get to understand that this whole place we live is indifferent to us. This planet we live on is indifferent to us.
Doesn't give a shit. Yeah.
It doesn't give a shit about us.
We can be just fine without us.
We can hurt it in so much that we make it harder for us to live.
That's it.
But it won't give
It's
a
all
shit.
superficial.
Yeah, it won't give a shit once we kill ourselves.
Right.
There'll still be a
Earth
planet.
doesn't care.
And you know,
Earth will normalize as soon as it gets rid of us.
yeah, and probably be a lot happier.
Yeah.
Without us on it. And that's one of those fringe benefits is that you start to see those bigger issues and you feel a sense of responsibility. Not like, I have to change everything about my life, but you realize I can make some easy choices.
Easy
choices to make.
Yep.
That make it so I can protect this out here just a little bit longer because
Right.
I want to enjoy it.
Another benefit that's come from this trip and camping and doing that is I don't need as much. That's been a bit.
Yeah.
I remember at least being in the Pacific Northwest, and it was like, fuck, do I need to go to the store? Like, because I'll do that with camping too. Like, you'll over fucking prepare.
Sure.
And then I have all the benefits that I have here.
Right.
Whereas I was like, I need to get some food for camping and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, I've got a cooler full of food with me. I've got snacks and I've got beef jerky and I've got meat to cook and I've got a grill set up.
Yeah.
So do I need this other food?
Right.
Or do I just eat what I've got and go to bed?
Right. Or even going further, can you substitute that convenience and that whatever you get from that store? Can you substitute in either a little bit of work or a little bit of misery and be fine?
Yeah.
A little bit of misery is fine and probably good for you. If you're hungry for a little while, that's not the worst thing in the world.
And I think there's a difference between eliminating choices and eliminating options.
I like that.
I want to eliminate some of my choices,
Yeah, I like that.
but I'm not interested in not having the option.
Sure.
Like, look, if I am uncomfortable, I can fucking leave and go get food. I
Yeah.
can do that. That is an option. I'm not starving.
Yeah.
I'm not broke. I'm not starving. I'm not doing this because I have to do it.
Yeah.
But I don't need 4 types of meat to choose between
Right.
when I'm cooking. I don't need tortillas and sandwiches, and I don't need
Right.
this. What's for dinner tonight? Something out of the cooler.
Yeah.
We're going to put it in the little pan and cook it.
Right.
And then I'm going to eat it. And then I know that was enough calories. You're fine.
Yeah. There's no one's near death here. You could have not eaten.
That'd be just okay.
You could have
I
not
could
eaten at
probably
all.
make it 6 or 7 hours without a meal. And not.
You're not going to keel from that. I'm planning right now. One of the things with deer season coming up is I'm actually planning like a solo deer camp where I'm going to try to go out for a few days. Central Texas, not the friendliest place to camp in the world. And it's been really fun doing the gear list part of that because it is just like when we do a clothing line. It's like I'm going to start with all the things I can think of
And edit.
and then just chop it down
And
to the bare minimum. Because I think that's a choice because I want to do that for the fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun choice to take away your choices, just like you're saying.
Well, that's the bit of simplifying.
Yeah, right.
I mean, and that's one of the things. I mean, I've got a nice house, but I don't have an extravagant house.
Right.
I don't want a bunch of choices. What color? White.
Yeah.
That's what color we're painting everything. Fucking white. I think there's some more simplicity I would like to add, which I think, helps you do things. I think it helps you save money. I think it helps you do a little bit different stuff to realize you don't have to keep up. And I think we fall into that trap of consumerism because I like stuff and I like new things.
Yeah.
I like them more than most people do.
Yeah.
I'm very fucking happy to spend the money I make.
You like backpacks a lot.
Jesus Christ. So many fucking backpacks. Matt Vincent's used backpack warehouse.
You joke. I think you really.
It's Matt Vincent's slightly used backpack warehouse.
If things get
I have
tight.
6 in my office right now.
Yeah, that's not a lie. I had to step over them. But I legitimately, if things get tough, you may be able to open up a secondhand shop and do okay.
I should just, and those are, so I have no problem dumping stuff to like Goodwill. For one reason, backpacks I won't.
God, I need to go to the Goodwill near your house before I leave.
Yeah, there's probably a bunch of
See, how many 8 brand shirts I can grab. Sweet.
Yeah.
These are almost wholesale.
I just treat the boxes that are in front of Albertsons that you can drop stuff off in, that's where I put trash I don't know how to throw away.
It's just like a large trash can that I can use.
Oh, we got a couch to get rid of? I'm just going to ditch it there. I know it says don't do that, but I feel like somebody wants it.
It's more of a suggestion than
What
anything
am I
else.
can't just cut it up and put it in my trash can. Like real chill Dan Hughes, by the way. I remember arguing with him as we were driving through like Rhode Island when he was up there for school, and he was telling me that he's like, well, you know, I'm just a pretty chill guy. And I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? You're not chill at all. If you don't relax or sit and hang out, you're a spaz. And he's like, no, I'm fucking pretty chill, man. You know, we're both defining it differently. And then meanwhile, later that evening after a bunch of drinks, I've told the group that he's friends with up there, I'm like, you know, Dan tried to tell me that he's really chill, and they're all fucking laughing. And I'm like, I would just point it out to him in times when he's not chill. I'd be like, totally chill, dude. What you're doing right now, spot on. And
what a chill person would do.
We had a bonfire and stuff going, and they were gonna burn this couch they had. And I watched Dan dismantle a couch with a golf club. And then would occasionally sprint away from the couch to chase a rabbit into the woods.
With a golf club?
With or without.
Okay.
I don't think he wanted to cause it harm.
I feel like almost from a podcast perspective, I needed to drop in when you said couch with a golf club, but I got shook. I'm frozen by the...
Yeah. Just smash it.
Because I tried to get in the mental space of how...
You take apart a couch with a golf club?
Yeah, and how do you get to where
Imagine it's a really shitty axe.
Okay, yeah, I got that. But wouldn't you just do better with your hands?
He did both.
Okay.
But the only other tool outside of hands he had was golf club.
And so he went to
trying
golf.
to get things apart.
Are we talking an iron or a wood?
I think it was an iron.
Okay, that's a better choice.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, the iron's a far better choice.
But I remember, and I was like, super
That's
fucking,
not chill.
Just remember yelling.
That's
I was like, super fucking chill, dude. And he's like, just wide-eyed and all crazy looking. I'm like,
Just feral.
Fucking maniac. And I'm not much better. I don't relax very well.
Yeah, it's weird. You have you don't relax very well, but you're also not high strung.
No.
You're not.
I'm pretty easygoing, and I'm positive. I'm not a complainer, and I'm very happy to go along with whatever we're gonna do. But there is a certain amount of time that I can handle not doing a thing.
Yeah.
I also can't handle something being done around me and not being part of it. So, the easiest way to say that would be we had a yard service for a bunch of years, and Ashley was furious about it, and she was like, I need a mower so I can cut the grass. And I was like, so you're going to take over the yard deal. This is how this works. You're going to handle the yard. We go buy a mower and the shitty electric one, and then bought the electric other bits. And the grass fucking grows here insane. So, you can cut your yard twice a week.
Yeah.
Especially, during the summer. And, I know the yard, that's hers. This is her thing that she has signed up for.
Sure.
However.
Sure.
I can't sit on that fucking couch while she cuts grass. I can't fucking do it, dude.
My wife's greatest trick to get me to finish a job that needs to get done is she'll just go start doing it and let me see it. God, just give me.
Yeah. It's not I'm not kicking her out to do it better.
Right.
But I'm not going to sit on the couch while she's cutting grass. I will go help. I'll weed eat and blow stuff off and do a part of it. But I can't just sit there and just be like, she's cutting grass. I'm just going to lay here with my feet up.
I don't know what that is, but I can't.
With that said, she's welcome to unload the dishwasher all by herself.
That one can be done. That's so short term. And she enjoys doing that.
She loves it.
Yeah, she loves the dishes. So
That's what I've heard.
You don't want to take that away from her.
Yeah, most nights, even if we're going out for dinner, I have her cook, just throw it away just to stay in practice.
Well, yeah, you got to keep a rhythm. Like anything else.
You don't want to get out of the loop on it.
No. right, so here's a
Sensuous.
yeah, always. Since you did this whole trip where a lot of it was kind of pushing the uncomfortable envelope a little bit and pushing the solitude a little bit.
But I don't remember being uncomfortable. That's a part I really want to say. Like, I wasn't uncomfortable.
I guess that's true. You weren't,
The uncomfortable parts were like, I don't know where I'm going to camp.
right. The uncertainty, maybe.
Yeah.
More uncertainty than adversity is what you
Yeah.
kind of dealt with.
Like, this looks good.
Is that going to be a piece of more trips from now on?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
What do you think you want to do next?
I just want to camp more. I want to camp more, and I want to be outside, like, riding, like, my bikes more.
What about locally? What about doing it in places around home? Does that do anything for you?
The weather's not great.
No, it's
And
not.
so, like, when the weather's good, like, we do a trip every year and have done it for, like, the last 5, where we do, like, a bike trip, and we go to Covington.
Yeah.
And I think we end up riding, like, 45 miles that day.
Okay.
And we all camp. There's probably a group of, like, 20 of us.
Yeah.
And we all camp at this park and hang out and do the camp bit. And then the next morning we ride bikes, and there's like 4 breweries we stop at along
Nice.
the way and do all that. And that's fucking great.
Yeah, that's
It's
cool.
usually like early November. The weather's just gotten good.
Yeah.
But I'd like to do that more. I'd like to drive to Arkansas and go check out some of the national parks and stuff like that. And kind of, I just want to be more immersed in a place than feel like a tourist.
I think it's the best thing you've said about why to go outside and camp. I think it's the best thing you've said, that it's like the whole line that Airbnb tried to sell is that you're actually living somewhere, which is somewhat true, but really.
I feel differently staying at Airbnb than hotels.
Oh yeah, but
100%.
if you are going to go see national parks, you're going to see monuments. I can't think of a better way to actually, because it seems more seamless.
Yeah.
Like you actually get to see wildlife. You actually get to smell the place. You get to see those things in context of what they really are. Instead, I mean, look, try to do that with everything in your life, but that's a pretty damn good way, man. I could definitely get on board with that, like making that a bigger part of, because, like we talked about, it's almost like a moment of realizing, like, I'm doing everything I'm doing outdoors in the service of hunting and fishing right now, but I could take all that cool shit that's happening when I do that and apply that to other trips and just like, hey, let's camp a couple nights instead.
Right.
Instead of, maybe I don't always have to have a point. There doesn't have to be
Right.
like an end goal.
The
for
goal
doing it.
was going to camp.
Right, and that's where I fall off. That's where I haven't really done it. I haven't appreciated enough. But it's funny, man. Getting out and sitting under the stars will cure a lot of things that you're not thinking about straight, that you're not doing right, or introspection, man. Like that's most of our human history has been having to sit under the stars with nothing else to think about.
Well, so 2 things that I felt really came from this trip. I think as much as I travel, it's really easy for me to feel the world is small,
Yeah.
because I can be in LA at 10 a.m. and have done that a lot.
Yeah, and have been talking to people that you're going to meet there all day beforehand.
Right. I can very easily go to LA, see people that I know, and be home in 48 hours.
Yeah.
I know plenty of people that like, man, I'd love to go to California one day. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Like that's like
It's a 48-hour trip.
that's the other end of the
You
office,
just go.
basically. Yeah.
Right. You just go and show up
Yeah.
and then come home. It's not the trip to California anymore.
Right. No, it
It's
does.
just another place that I'm comfortable.
Yeah, but you're right. It does seem smaller. All does.
So all that gets smaller. Whereas driving through Nevada, being in the Grand Canyon for 2 weeks without service. 'Cause, I mean, man, like they told us a bunch of stories of like people exploring the Grand Canyon. And like one of the books that we picked up and read quite a bit of while we were down there is this thing called the Emerald Mile. And it's talking about like Powell's expedition and like running the river the first time.
Yeah.
And they don't know what's ahead of any of this, right? And so like they would crash boats, and then it would be like, and so they hiked out and made their way back up and then started over. And I'm like, quit fucking glossing over this hike out part.
Right.
That's a 7-hour, 3,000 foot
Right.
fucking ascent
Yeah.
to nowhere.
Most people
To a 40-mile fucking hike in the desert.
right hike out.
Yeah, just they'd hike out and then start over. I'm like, that's 2 days.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you mean just hike out? Stop saying that. And so, like, in that environment, like, you realize how far you are from things, and you're like, Earth just got like, if I was to break an arm, Earth got real fucking big.
Real fast.
Real fast.
Yeah.
And I feel that way a lot camping, that Earth is big again.
Yeah.
Or road tripping, which I really love to do. I like driving. I way prefer it over airports and airplanes and people because I like the options of I can stop when I want to and I can eat when I want to and I can be in my own thing.
Yeah, the older I've gotten, the more I appreciate it. I like the drive over here.
Yeah, I'd way rather drive and listen to podcasts and not be cramped touching some fucking stranger.
Yeah, like Aubrey talks about that in his book. He talks about like the mind fill time.
Yep.
Like you can legitimately use that instead of just screaming along with the radio. Like you can legitimately do things, even if it's just sitting there thinking.
Yeah.
Or if it's just, focusing on one particular part of your drive, your experience, your life, whatever.
Yeah,
It's huge, man.
I think, perspective-wise and thoughts that I've had have come, a lot of it has come from that I traveled so much with the old job and had so much alone time.
Yeah.
That alone time I do really well. There were a bunch of years with the old sales job that, I did 70,000 miles a year in my truck.
Yeah.
And so
That's
a lot.
a lot.
When you get 2 oil changes in a month,
Yeah.
you've been in your truck.
You're putting some miles on it.
Right? And so that gives a lot of time for introspection and time to sort through a stupid thought.
Right.
How do I feel about this? Why do I feel that way? Is this something I really give a shit about, or is this something that's built in? How, and work your way around a lot of ideas. And a lot of that's because I've had the free time to do it. Mm-hmm. And so I still get that camping and road tripping and doing those type of things instead of the destination being the goal. The journey is the part that I want.
Yeah.
It was the whole journey of doing that this summer. Is what I was really into.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that I get to do this again. Right now it's very easy to say, like, well, I don't see why not, but who's to fucking say I'm not sick at this time next year?
Right.
Because this shit happens.
Yeah.
Do I think it's a low percentage chance that I'm so sick I can't travel at this point next year? Yes.
Yeah, but you don't.
100%. I'm not scared of this.
Right, but you don't get to say.
But it ain't fucking zero.
Right.
That is not a 0% chance.
Right.
People get fucking sick all the time. Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And so, that's a big portion of my want to go, is the limited time that I have on this planet living my life will not be wasted. I am not someone who's going to be here going through the motions.
Right.
I am going to fucking wring as much of the marrow out of my life experience as I can. I also realize, it's for me.
Yeah.
It's a selfish pursuit.
Yeah, don't lie to yourself.
Nope. I'm doing this because I love it.
Yeah.
Not because I want to make content, not because I want to do any of this other thing. This is because this is what I love. And, I think if I gave more of a shit business-wise, I'd probably be smarter about things as far as making content goes and other stuff, but it still boils down to I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And so there's a consequence to that.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Taken. Because you're going to be doing it no matter what.
Yeah, and it's better than being something I don't want to fucking be, man. I don't know where I'm going, but I can tell you a bunch of shit I don't want to do.
I've always argued that's just as important.
Yeah.
It's just as important to be able to figure out what you don't want.
Yeah, I know the things I don't like.
Yeah.
And I can avoid those pretty goddamn good.
Because those become time sucks real fast. And, in talking about having a full life and, getting everything out of it, a lot of people mistake that for be productive all the time. You always got to be productive. You always got to be hustling on something or working for something or creating something. And that's just not it. It's sometimes part of that grand adventure of getting the most out of your life is being able to stop in the right places and appreciate the journey. And literally and figuratively. The literal version is you literally in the middle of a giant journey through Iceland, being able to stop and be on your own for an entire night. Or, being your own or
get run out of a place.
By a couple older Icelandic ladies.
Yeah, getting pumped out, run out of a place by old Icelandic women. Yeah, I could do that too.
I feel bad. They're probably going to listen to this.
Fuck them. Hope they do. You old bitches. They don't understand English. Oh, well.
Yeah. Well,
It was the most exciting thing that had happened in their lives in months.
I know, and they're going to look
For
back
sure.
on that. You remember the time the guy
That
with the
fucking
tattoos?
crazy guy was there.
Yeah, that
We
was,
were not safe. I'm like, I'm your safer. I'm on your side. God damn it.
Gearmanson, pointing your
Yeah,
phone.
just yelling. Fuck.
So good.
Language barrier.
When
Iceland's such a safe place to like experiment with travel internationally because it doesn't feel like here. You are definitely not in the U.S., but everyone speaks English.
yeah. And they're like from what you've described to me, I haven't been yet, but it's really like a lot of other European countries and like the idea, but it's just spread out. Like a lot of European countries are, they have the same kind of vibe, but they're small. But Iceland is just huge.
Well, Iceland's not huge. That's the thing.
Well,
Iceland
I guess,
is about
yeah.
the size of Louisiana.
For the number of people on it, it's huge.
Yeah, it's
That's
a
what I
city.
mean, like, yeah.
That's the thing. Iceland is a city.
Yeah, it's Reykjavik.
It is just Reykjavik. I mean, you've got a population of 300,000 and 200 plus live in Reykjavik.
Sure. Right. And that's a lot of land that nobody's living on out there. It's just
There's a lot of uninhabitable land.
Yeah.
For sure. It's just fucking volcanic fields and mountains and dirt and no trees.
Right.
The no trees part is always strange.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I've
No
never
trees.
every video I've ever seen you send from there, I don't remember ever seeing a
Yeah,
tree.
there's not a lot of trees. You occasionally run into them, but
so
there's
weird.
not a lot of trees.
That's so weird. Why is that?
Because they showed up and cut them all down to make boats, expecting they'd grow back, and they didn't.
Ah, yeah, that. Damn Vikings.
Yeah. They're like, oh, fuck, this place is covered in trees. We'll cut these trees down and make boats. Shit.
Oh, they don't grow real fast, do
No,
they?
volcanic Earth doesn't exactly
Took those
support-
trees around 4,000 years to get a good foothold.
Yeah.
Good luck, guys.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, thanks for sharing all the details about the trip with me. That sounds
It was
pretty
good,
rad.
man. It was fun, and this isn't my last trip to Iceland.
Yeah, for
I'm
sure.
trying to figure out how to buy property there.
Oof, that is nice. I'm trying to figure out how to hunt reindeer out there.
I ain't mad at reindeer.
Why ain't
I
it?
don't particularly like eating them either, so.
Well, have you had reindeer? Have you had caribou yet?
Yeah.
Oh, you have.
Yeah, I've eaten all kinds of weird shit. I ate a bunch of horse on this last
Had a
trip.
horse on. That's right.
Horse.
Horse, whale, and caribou.
Well, on a horse, maybe. See how
Whoa,
that
whoa, whoa,
fits in?
what do you think? I'll let me?
Well, I don't think you just use a hammer. And walk up to it.
Yeah, I don't
Which
think-
is essentially like hunting deer in fucking West Texas. I mean, the trips I've been.
Just walk up to the feeder.
No, I wouldn't call it. So that's a bit of the snobby part of me that always liked duck hunting versus deer.
The skill.
Now, to shoot a thing that's fucking moving and flying.
Yeah, I love dove hunting for that reason
Right.
too. Yeah,
I mean, there's a ton of skill in actually being able to shoot a deer at distance.
yeah, that's my jam. But yeah, like I don't know, 20
Yeah,
yard,
or-
20-yard feeder shot with a rifle.
Bow hunting or any of that, right? Like, there's a ton of skill. But it's
there's
not the same as shooting a thing that's flying.
Right, and there's a difference between honestly like hunting, like still hunting, spot and stalk, and honestly just getting your meat, and that's fine. I'm not mad at anybody.
No, look, man.
That's
whatever.
neck or head shooting does from 20 yards. I'm not mad at
fucking
you.
mad at anyone for doing the things they want to do.
No, as long as it's not hurting me or mine.
Don't give
Cool.
a shit.
Cool.
Do your
Cool.
thing, man. You're not being a prick about it. Cool.
Yep.
You're not going out there and killing fucking 30 deer and leaving them in the field because you want to kill things.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I'm not mad at how they have to kill pigs now. Pigs are a fucking problem.
Yeah. Ooh, man.
They need to be sorted out.
There's a lot
The
of them.
land damage and other stuff wild hogs are doing across Texas.
They just have babies so fast, man.
Can't keep up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people don't realize that the hogs, you're talking about an animal that is mature enough to have a litter in like 5 months.
Mm-hmm. And up to 6 at a
Can
time.
have 6 at a time, and then after they reach maturity to where they can have a litter, in 5 months they can drop a litter every 3.5.
Yep.
It's rabbits. It's super fucking destructive rabbits.
Way more. And if anybody ever wonders like what the real impact is, take them to a hog wallow out near a pond or a lake.
Dude,
See what they do to the water.
yeah, not only that, it's the water, and it's trying to explain to someone, it's not like they're just eating the crops. It looks like they've dissed the field.
Right. Yeah. They do. They just
Yeah, it's ruined.
blast it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're jerks. Well, I'll try to go kill some then. All right, man. What's next? Where are you traveling to next?
Home for 3 weeks, and then I got an ugly stretch So I've got Chrissy's wedding in Nevada. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Officiating that thing.
You got a little cottage industry going to officiating weddings, don't you?
Yeah. So do that. Ashley and I are home. I'm home for a day. And then I go to Toronto. I've got a seminar in Toronto. I've got one in Ottawa. And then I'm going to hang out and fuck off in Toronto for a day.
Sweet.
And then I fly from
I like
Toronto.
that city, man.
Well, I planned on coming home, and then I realized like how soon it is to Loon.
Yeah, it's right there.
And so it made more sense for me to fly from Toronto to Boston for Loon and then do Loon weekend announcing and then come home.
Yeah.
Than it did for me to come home and then go back out to Loon.
Right. We've established you've got the tools to stretch a trip out a little bit.
Not a
So
big deal.
not a huge deal at
So
all.
one of the changes that comes with extended travel that I'm trying to get used to is you pack differently. You pack less. Because I'm going to have access to wash clothes.
Yeah, right. So
I don't need 5 bags of fucking clothes, which I had.
you need like 3 outfits.
I realized like I'd be so sorted out if I just pack. Like I could do almost an infinite trip
Yeah.
with a pair of jeans, a pair of like khaki pants, like the chinos I wear, a pair of shorts, 2 pair of training shorts, black,
Right. I need to get fancy.
and 10 black t-shirts. That's it, and a pair of Vans. And that's why I've switched to lifting and Vans. I'm not doing anything important enough. I need to fucking put on lifting shoes.
Right,
I'm
yeah.
just lifting these Vans. They're going to be just
These
fine.
are
These
doing-
aren't the problem.
These are what's stopping
this
us from
isn't
going
what's
up.
holding me back.
I love it.
So that part of it's different. And then being like, well, I'm going to wash clothes today and fucking hang out.
Yeah. So I mean,
And I have down days on those trips too. Like there's definitely days that it was just like, probably not going to leave Casey's house today. I'll only go to the gym. Yeah. But that was cool in Iceland. I did that too, where I would just get up in the morning and I had luckily, and fortunate enough to have friends and awesome shit like that got a key to Haptor's gym.
right.
So,
yeah.
So I just get up and go and turn off the alarm and sit in there and do my cardio in the morning and then lift if I feel like lifting until I'm tired of lifting. And then go back to Hasey's house and get some work done.
That's such a chill way to travel, man. Is going places where you have friends.
Yeah.
It changes the whole dynamic of being on somebody else's schedule versus just living.
Right.
It's nice to live somewhere else briefly
And it's
instead of
different being there long enough to not feel like we have to go do this thing because the clock's ticking.
Yeah.
I've done all that stuff in Iceland.
Right. So now you're actually just you
just
really
want to
are.
be there.
Yeah, you're there.
Yeah, I just want to be there. I'm going to go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, I just got done lifting. I need to get food. I'm going to go to the grocery store. I'm going to go to fucking Bonus Pig and pick up some meats and some potatoes and go back to Hasey's house and cook.
Yeah. Like I think that's a challenge for a lot of people. And we run into that too, is like those first trips to somewhere, there's some touristy stuff you need to do. There's always things you need to do. And I'm never going to knock anybody for doing touristy stuff.
I've got to give Paris a second shot.
Sure. Yeah. And that's, we did the Airbnb thing. We were there for like 4 days. And right towards the tail end, it was just enough to where you could start to feel the rhythm a little bit.
See,
you could feel the rhythm of the place a little bit.
We were in Paris for a week.
Yeah.
And basically did museums.
Yeah, you can do that. You can really do that.
The problem with that is there's so much awesomeness in the museum, none of it becomes awesome.
Yeah, that's right. No, you get burned out. There's almost like a fatigue on splendor.
If I had any of the paintings from the Louvre on a wall in my house, and that was the only piece of art, I would just sit and stare at it like, what in the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Look at this thing. But you just blast through these hallways
of all the greatest paintings.
Works of art.
Yeah. No, you really do. You get fatigued on.
And I mean, I guess I've seen the Mona Lisa and like, fucking who gives a shit? It's not that great.
Right, we put that thing in a room by itself.
I mean, kinda. But there's still art. There's still art that I want to see in person. Like I haven't seen Starry Night in person. That's a big one for me. That's probably my all-time favorite piece. At least pretty fucking close. There's Picasso stuff I like too.
Yeah.
But going to like Van Gogh Museum in Holland, I really enjoyed. But whereas like the Anne Frank house, nah, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
There's too big of a line.
That's what knocked us off of it too.
Nope.
Now we're good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm gonna go get stoned and be somewhere else.
Right.
It's a real bummer in here.
It is Holland.
Yeah. Yeah. I also wonder. I wonder with legalization of marijuana, as much of it's changed in the U.S., has it hurt tourism in Holland?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I just wonder. I wonder if they're seeing less. I mean, look, there's still a fuckload of Europeans.
A lot of Europeans, that's right. Yeah.
But there was a lot of Americans going.
That's true.
And it's a way easier thing to just go to Denver. Because there is weed tourism now. Don't think that it isn't.
Yeah. Check Denver's bankroll. Or it's Colorado's bankroll if you don't think there's...
Why is this a thing that's not fully legal yet?
It's happening, man. It's just...
You just can't tell me that alcohol is okay and this isn't.
Right. I'm fully versed in both. And
That argument doesn't work.
Yeah. Had we stayed up till 10:30 last night and I drank an equivalent amount of vodka, we wouldn't be sitting here doing this quite as well. I'm just telling you right now. Like it
Also, probably wouldn't have been just as happy sitting on the couch.
right.
I would have needed things. I would have turned into Spencer and needed things to do to be entertained.
God.
Fucking
Oh, Spencer.
tub of tubs.
Fucking next podcast is going to be all about Spencer. I think
Started interviewing everyone about Spencer. What's wrong with
that'd
Spencer?
be a good Hey, your professional opinion.
What do you think's wrong with? We're like, who?
Watch this video
Yeah.
of him real quick.
Jesus.
Yeah. I don't want to anymore.
Well, cool, man.
All right, man. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
We'll talk again.
You know where to find me.
Yeah.
The desk is so much clearer than the time it ever been. I'm a ghost that he had. Way down the earth, through the stars, to the pain.
So that was a ton of fun sitting and talking to Matt about that, especially because it's something that he's so passionate about. I know a lot of people, when they sit with Matt, want to talk about training, they want to talk about lifting, they want to talk about even the journey with his knee, which is a big part of what's going on with him. And, they may want to talk about Highland Games even. And I guess it's nice to sit and talk about a different topic that somehow touches into all those things. You get to see them in context for Matt. But I think the idea of exploration, the idea of freedom, the idea of getting outside and challenging himself in new and different ways, I think that is really where his heart is. That's where his passion lies right now. So it was really fun to do that. That's kind of the benefit of Matt and I talking every day for work is that stuff, the popular topics, they've been exhausted. We know him, and he's got his stance, his approaches, his sometimes even like I don't want to say stock responses, but he kind of knows where he's headed with some of those regular topics, and we don't talk about that stuff. I mean, we talk about gear, we talk about whatever gear he's putting on his truck modifications. We talk about, my hunting. We talk about, maybe little things that happen at home. We talk lots of just little interactions, almost like, Larry David and Seinfeld type stuff a lot of times, because that's what happens when you communicate every day. The big stuff gets taken care of, the work stuff gets taken care of, and then what's left is just real conversation. So I really did enjoy that. I always, Matt and I did his podcast a few months back, and I always worry when Matt and I are recorded together. I have this like in the moment, which is totally unlike me because usually, most conversations I feel pretty present in, but I'm always sort of half worried that it's not a good conversation. I kind of like have these thoughts. I'm like, man, we're too scattered right now. It's too all over the place. Because Matt and I are people that clearly have purpose when we speak, and we have a roadmap. But that roadmap is not always easy to follow when you're listening along with it. And but it's always nice listening back and just seeing that there's some real insight that comes out of that. There's because I think we're just both able to be very genuine with each other, and I think it's nice to hear people that are that are friends and that oftentimes work together closely on things, to hear them on podcasts, because they can kind of do away with what's the best way to say this? The niceties. They can do away with the small talk, and they can really get into the good stuff a lot faster. I think that's part of the reason, honestly, why getting outdoors, going on adventures with friends is so great, because there's no pleasantries. There's no, need to get the little stuff out of the way. You can just get right to the meat. You can get to the good stuff. And I don't know, seek out more of that. That's if there's any advice I'm giving here, seek out more interactions where you can get through the pleasantries and you can just get to the good stuff. That's what it's all about. Those are the real conversations. Those are the things that build real lasting relationships. And not surprisingly, they happen outdoors. They happen during adventures. They happen during work. They happen around campfires. This is how we're wired. This is how we bond. We're a social animal. And I've really discovered that more and more with this, newfound obsession with hunting. And beyond it just being like an obsession, it's not just one of my rabbit holes as usual. This is a part of my life that I've integrated. There are things that I've done for stretches that I'm done with for the most part. I could say very safely, like I'm probably done acting on stage. I did that when I was real young, and that's probably not coming back, but I gained a lot of benefit from it. But, I'm done. I didn't fully integrate that as a thing. I fenced for well over a decade, and, that really colored a lot of things, but I wouldn't say that it's totally integrated with me now. But I think hunting, being an outdoorsman, being an explorer, I think that's something that I have really integrated. That's something that is going to stick, that's going to last. And it really is going to color everything else on a lot of my decisions and my relationships and, how I attack my goals, how I attack everything, and how I approach the world, my worldview, if you want to call it that. I think there's a German word for that. I had to learn in high school. Is it Weltanschauung, something like that? I don't know. I don't want to turn this into the SAT words podcast, but that one just struck me. I'm going to have to go look that up. Somebody look that up if I forget to. Message me about that. I'd be very interested to find out if I got that German word correct. I remember another one too, Schadenfreude. I think that's Schadenfreude. I think that's when you enjoy the misery of others. That's a dark one. That is not what I want to promote on this podcast. But I do want to promote being outdoors. I really want to put it on everybody. Find your reason, find your why. Like I talked about with Matt, it doesn't have to be like mine. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to go hiking with a point, as I call it. You don't have to have a weapon with you. You don't have to be scouting for game. You don't have to do that. Find your why, find a reason to be out there, because that's where you really belong. It might not be where you're most useful. Maybe you are useful in your office. Maybe you are useful inside your home, and that's good. You should be. But you should, as I have, you should integrate the outdoors into who you are. That's what this species that you're a part of, that's what we're made of psychologically and quite literally physically. That's the stuff we're made of. That's where we're from. That's where this whole crazy ape machine that we walk around in was adapted for. That's what we're meant for. So get in touch with that. Spend enough time out there. Get the blue light, get the sunlight, get fresh air, get dirt under your toes. Get friendly with animals. Not too friendly. There's a litany of laws about that. But get to know wildlife. Get to know what other people are like when they're out of doors and they're challenged. I think those things are super important. And you guys are super important. So thank you everybody for listening to this podcast. I always appreciate you guys coming along on my journeys with me, exploring all the different rabbit holes. If you enjoy the podcast, please share it with other people. Tell them you can find it on iTunes. You can find it on Google Play, Stitcher. You can find it on my YouTube channel. I should get it on Spotify soon. I guess maybe I should get on that. I probably said that for 2 episodes now. But I need to make that happen. Share that. If you really do enjoy this, please, on iTunes, write a review. Some of you have done that. It's very much appreciated. It's nice to see the feedback. It's nice to see you're out there listening. It's really cool. Reach out to me on Instagram. This stuff is extremely fun to talk about. I know sometimes this fires, when I listen to a good podcast, it fires me up to want to get in that conversation. And I want to encourage everybody to do that. If not with me, with somebody with a similar interest, so put a review out there. I love it. It can be 1 star, it can be 5 stars. I don't care. I just want to see the interaction. I love when you guys do reviews, but do 5 stars. So again, very much appreciated all of you. I will talk to you guys soon.